The boat's sitting in about 18 feet of water and I'm casting up to 14 to 16. I'm dredging the bottom with that bait right there. There's one. There's a little dude on the 110+2. This bait will reach 16 feet of water. If you look at this graph here, there's little brush piles and little grass piles and stuff like that. But we're in 18 feet of water and this jerkbait's getting down to about 16. These fish are suspended. So when you put a bait down to their level, they're gonna bite it. Really cool new design, Megabass VISION 110+2. Again, a consistent 12-foot diving depth, and on a very long cast, you can get it down to 16 feet. The original VISION 110 has a smaller lip, of course, and it works in 4 to 6 feet of water, smallmouth, largemouth, or spotted bass. And then the VISION 110+1 dives 8 to 9 feet, so that's kind of the mid-range 110. And now with the deeper diving, 12 to 16 foot version, there's no other bait or no other action out there that can consistently dive 12 to 16 feet and have that same erratic VISION 110 action. A lot of guys will throw crankbaits down there and 14 to 16 feet, but when you show them something different like this VISION 110+2, you're gonna get those bites behind guys that you would normally not get. So again, it's that signature 110 action, but we're working down there in 12 to 16 feet of water. This bait is super responsive too. I can see him coming up off the bottom in 20 feet, so we're in the right area. This is exactly what you want to target. Deep water transition here out to my front left. It's a big flat behind me and I'm just right here on this transition. You're gonna have a lot of bait fish cruising around this flat up shallow, and this bait right here, diving down to 12 foot consistently. I could sometimes get it down to about 16 on a really long cast. Man, that thing casts nice. I'm just gonna wind it down a little bit and kind of pull it down. With a traditional VISION 110 or a VISION 110+1, you wanna do a lot of erratic snaps and pops of the rod. Snap, snap, snap off to the side. This VISION 110+2, because of the diving angle, because it wants to dive further down and get down to those deeper fish, instead of a real hard left to right, what I want to do is make a real long cast and almost pull it downwards. Pull, pull, pull. So if you look at my wrist here, I go from 180 degrees straight, just straight down. Pull, pull, pull. And the action with my wrist is down, 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 and you're just pulling it downwards. That's how you consistently get down to 12 feet, 14 feet, sometimes 16 feet of water with the VISION 110+2. And just follow it with your reel, follow the slack. The rod I'm using is a Megabass Orochi XX jerkbait special. It's designed for these jerkbaits. Again, Orochi XX jerkbait special. It's a f4.5, 6'11", so it's not quite 7 feet, but that allows me that shorter rod, that jerkbait rod built for jerkbaiting, and I can keep my rod tip pointed at the lure. And when I jerk down, I'm not hitting my boat, I'm not hitting the water surface. It's just a nice fluid motion to get that nice consistent 12 to 16 foot diving depth with the VISION 110+2. And again, like all Megabass Vision jerkbaits 110s, they suspend down there. So I could sit here and talk about this all day long, and that VISION 110+2 is just suspended out there in 12, 14 feet of water. The colder the water temperature gets, the more into the fall you get, more into the winter you get, the longer you want to pause that 110+2. So I'm just jerk, and it's just down there, left, right, and it dives deeper with every pull. I like going in behind guys and catching fish behind guys. I see it as a challenge. I love it. And with a VISION 110+2, I feel like I could do just that, because these fish are used to crankbaits being drawn by, deep. There's a fish. Got it. A little deeper. That's a crappie. Look at that. Crappie brush pile out there in 20 feet of water. That jerkbait came by and got him. Once you get this action, that jerking side to side action down there in 14 feet of water, you start getting bites that you normally wouldn't get. Cool little crappie. Weight transfer system equals bomber cast. The other thing too is when we're making real long casts, I want to make sure I spool up my reel all the way to the rim of the spool. That allows you to cast as far as that reel is capable of casting So I've got a 12-pound test Seaguar VisX on this setup here. And the more line I have on that spool, the farther those casts are gonna go, the more inches per handle rotation I'm gonna get. And whenever you're jerkbait fishing too, always follow the wind. I don't care if it's the wind's blowing on the side of the lake that you never fished before, or for some reason you just don't like fishing that side of the lake. And that's simply because when the bait fish blow up in there, the ripple on the water conceals that predatory fish, the bass, just gives them that much more confidence to come up and eat that jerkbait, especially with that left to right erratic action. So whenever you have wind blowing onto a point, or like wind blowing onto a flat like we have here, man, that just increases your chances of getting a jerkbait bite tremendously.